28th edition of the African Cup of Nations has been a fantastic tournament, and the tournament comes to a conclusion on Sunday when Zambia host tournament favourites Cote d'Ivoire. Welcome to MTNfootball webcast. I'm your host, Brian Lee. Alongside me I have Sibusisa Mazubuku and Dwayne DeLocca. And Dwayne, I'm going to come to you first. These two teams certainly deserved finalists. Cote d'Ivoire with an impeccable defensive record, and then Zambia inspired by players that have perished in the past.
Yeah, Brian, undoubtedly for me, they are two deserved finalists. I mean, Zambia have played arguably the most attacking football in this competition. I think it's fair to say that they've been the team that's really displayed that beautiful football that so many people long to see, but that we witness so seldom these days. Cote d'Ivoire have played with a solid brand of football, though, but they've aside from the victory over Equatorial Guinea, where I think it was Drogba almost anger-inspired, where he's being taunted by the home fans after having missed the penalty. Aside from that match, Cote d'Ivoire have really done nothing more than score one goal in the game. Even the matches where they didn't, where they got a second goal, the match against Burkina Faso was an own goal. The final group game, it was a gifted goal that Boni literally only needed to tap in after the ball would have gone into the back of the Angolans' net, regardless, after a horrid back pass that looped over the keeper. So I think in terms of moving forward, Cote d'Ivoire have really not been inspiring, but their defence has been so absolutely superb. Not only have they not conceded a goal in this tournament, they haven't conceded a goal now in their last 669 minutes of game time. That's over 11 hours of playing time. Not since November last year have they conceded a goal, and you can't take that away from their defensive abilities. And I think it's credit as well to the midfield that stands in front of that defence and protects them. The likes of Torres, Okora, unbelievable performances. And great, of course, to see Gervinho's confidence back. But for Zambia, it really is an underdog story. And as you said, they are surviving a little on sentiment, getting things going for that their compatriots who died off the coast of Gabon back in 1993. It is a monumental task for Zambia to even thought of making the final. And they've gone and done it against the pre-tournament favourites. Victory over Ghana in the semi-final is remarkable. They're undefeated in this competition. The only team that managed to hold them was Libya, and that was on a pitch that was almost unplayable. So credit to Zambia. I think they very much deserve to be in this final.
Certainly, Dwayne, it sounds like it's going to be a clash of styles. I mean, Zambia have looked really good going forward in this tournament. They've scored 9 goals already. And then Ivory Coast, obviously, they've been very good defensively. Sibu, what are your thoughts on the styles of play? Who's going to win this one?
When it comes to these two finalists, I think they've taken two different approaches to get to the final. I think Zambia have been embracing the attacking football. I mean, since the beginning, since the opening match against Senegal, and they've kind of attacked teams without regard for star player names, especially if you look at how they played against Senegal as well as they came up against Ghana. Whereas Ivory Coast, on the other hand, have been more practical. I think they've looked to have a solid defense, have caught teams, and relied mainly on the brilliance of their strikers in terms of Didier Drogba, Kalou, as well as Gervinho. I think where there are similarities is that there is a lot of pace in both attacking fronts. I think you've a lot of wingers who move a lot quicker in terms of attacking the final third, and I think that's the only similarity that they have. But other than that, I think they're coming with two different styles. As far as who's going to win it, it's a very difficult to call, to be honest. I think the reigning theme of this tournament has been that the underdogs have surprised a few of the established names, so you can't rule that out. But I think with people like Drogba approaching the twilight of their careers, especially internationally, I think there is that added impetus in terms of making sure that they win. And if there's anything that Drogba has proved over the years, that he is a man for the big occasion. So I think they slightly edge it.
Well, that's what many would have said about Ghana, and I'm sure Dwayne understands that, don't you, Dwayne? But let's look at the other key players from both teams, Dwayne. For you, besides from Didier Drogba, who do we have to watch out for from Cote d'Ivoire and Zambia, respectively?
Yeah, Brian, thanks for the reminder. Yeah, certainly. I mean, Ghana was a team that I picked from the very start to go on and claim this title. In the end, though, despite their huge individual pool of talent, unable to do so. But credit to Zambia, who got past them. And I think, for a Zambian side that has managed to get past the other two pre-tournament favourites in Senegal and Ghana, to take on Cote d'Ivoire in the final is not going to be intimidating for this team. And I think that is something that counts very firmly in their favour. I think something else that counts firmly in their favour is, as Spoo mentioned, is the is the youngsters, the pace that they've got moving forward. Emmanuel Mayuka has been outstanding in this tournament so far. Even though he was used as a super sub in the semi-final against Ghana, he still managed to come on and score the winning goal. Beautifully placed. And one of those players who's really showed his grit and determination playing in Europe this year for Switzerland's young boys Bern. I think another player to look out for has got to be Chris Katongo, the Zambian captain. 3 goals in the tournament for him so far, and he has really led from the front. Missed a couple of glaring opportunities, but Chris Katongo on his day will bury the ones that count, and that is what Zambia are going to need. People to take their chances and grab the victory. They've proved that they can defensively hold out some of the greatest attacks in African football, and not just in this tournament, prior to this as well. For Cote d'Ivoire, undoubtedly Didier Drogba, always the man for the big occasion, but aside from him, Solomon Kalou, great to see him back from injury and playing regularly again. He scored in both warm-up matches for Cote d'Ivoire, but in this tournament he's yet to fire. Gervinho, I think, might be key, because you've got to ask questions now on whether or not his confidence has been reinstated. A huge goal-scoring drought for him. Suddenly he scores in the semi-final. Has that broken his duck? Has it suddenly re-inspired him and produced the type of form that he showed in his days playing for Lille, playing for Le Mans, playing for Cote d'Ivoire 2 or 3 years ago? If it has, he is undoubtedly going to be the real danger man, the one that will set up the opportunities. And then, of course, the man in the midfield for Cote d'Ivoire. You cannot overlook the reigning African Player of the Year. Yaya Touré has been outstanding in this tournament, and if he continues to play the type of football he's played, I tell you, Zambia are going to struggle to even get to the Cote d'Ivoire defensive line.
Well, there you have it from our football analysts, all their opinions and thoughts on the final. But let's look to the third place playoff. It's coming to you on this one, Cebu. Not normally an exciting game. What do you think is going to happen between Ghana and Mali?
Well, third place playoff is usually the game that nobody wants to play. It's usually referred to as the losers' final. So you're not going to get like a clamoring of attention with people wanting to see what's going to take place. And as a result, a lot of teams usually use this game to play the players that haven't had a run during the tournament. So it's not necessarily going to be a game that everybody will be looking at, but it's good to have a low third place finish there. So I'm predicting that a lot of teams like Ghana are going to run in teams that the guys that haven't played, as well as Mali to a certain extent. So it's going to be one of those games which is just really there to academically just to have a third place finisher.